This is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Um, Men accountability channels. Men accountability channels. There's a couple of channels on YouTube. I know I did a video a while back. Talking about, I don't know where that video is, talking about men needing to hold each other accountable. Men need to hold each other accountable, particularly black men. I was talking about, yes, more men need to hold themselves, each other accountable, because it's too often times that, and I also did a video talking about men are only interested in accountability um, when it when it pertains to women. The only time they seem to be interested in accountability is when it pertains to women. But then when it comes to men, they want to make 50 million excuses. You know, um, we live in a culture, we live in a very misogynistic culture, sexist culture, where, it's easy to throw all the blame on women about everything. And it's particularly bad in our community. You put all everything on the woman, and then not hold the men in the community accountable. But men, last time I checked, men are supposed to be the head. So the men are supposed to be the head of the women and the children. And so this mindset that um, women have all the accountability and men have none is just ridiculous. And I think this is the reason why um, a lot of things that's going on in our community is not. It's like when everything, the crime and everything that's happening in our black communities, the single mothers are blamed. But I'm always going to take you back to that question: where are the fathers? I'm going to take you back to that every time. Where are the fathers? Okay, where are the fathers? Um, children need a stable. Children really should be raised by two parents, two stable parents, and children need, particularly males, young black males, they need a positive father or father figure to guide them and kind of guide them in the right direction. And sometimes, if they don't have that, they go off in a different direction when they don't have that. And so, but the women are consistently being blamed for the things that's happening in the black community with our young black males. The black women is consistently being blamed all the time, and men are not holding, because of misogyny, men don't are not holding each other accountable like they should be. They're not holding men accountable. Expecting men to step up and be there for their children and help raise the children and things like that, and help bring up the children. The young black males kind of lead them in the right direction and things like that. And so, but and that's what I was talking about. More men need to hold other men accountable, and that's especially important in the black community. And there's two channels on YouTube that I really been binge watching. Controversial Shannon is a YouTuber by the name of, both of them are black males. One is Controversial Shannon, and the other one is Public Offender. Public Offender. I think that's his name. One is Public Offender, and one is Controversial Shannon. And those are the two channels I've been binge watching. Public Offender, I've been binge watching his stuff. I was on one of his streams the other day, and I just been binge watching his stuff, and um, both of those channels, they are male accountability channels, and they hold the men accountable. Now, of course, they're getting accused of pandering to women. That's the first thing people accuse them of, mostly men, get accused of pandering to women. Oh, you're just pandering to the women. You're pandering to the women. And he just said the other day, public offender just said the other day that the men want him to come. They want him to come to hit their side of the fence so bad. They want him to be misogynistic, just like them, so bad, and it eats them up that he don't have their mindset. So I love it. I love it. I love the fact that these men, and I said that many times before. Why aren't more? There's a lot of black men that claim to love us. They always saying, "I love black women," and a lot of black men are saying that they love us, but they don't stand up for us. They don't stand up for us. They don't speak up for us, and they know that there's a lot of black women bashing. They know that there's a lot of black women bashing on social media, particularly on YouTube, but they never. None of them never stand up. They always say, "Oh, I love black women and everything," but they never stand up. They never stand up and speak out against bashing us. They never do that. You know, um, and it's like I look at it like this: if you're not standing up against it, if you're not standing up against black women being bashed and being mistreated or whatever, if you're not speaking up and speaking out about it, and holding men accountable, then I don't know. It's like, oh, you're almost part of the problem. You're almost part of the problem in a sense, because it's just like for example, now don't come for me. I'm not. This is not about race, but it's just like white people, for example. A lot of white people will say, "I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I love everybody. I don't see color." Which that statement is an issue. I don't see color. That statement is an issue within itself, but that's another video. But they say, "I don't see color. I'm not racist." Okay, fine. You say you're not racist. They say they're not racist, but they don't speak out against racism. They don't go out of their way to speak out against racism. If someone in their circle is talking bad about a person of another race, they don't go out of their race. They don't go out of their way to speak out about it. They don't go out of their way to call racist white people out for their mindset, being racist. They don't go out of their way to speak out about it. They're kind of complacent. So it's almost in a sense like you're part of the problem, because you're not. There's white people that do speak out about racism, and it's a guy on here named Don Dixon. I love him because he's very vocal, and I think it's more powerful coming from other white people. White people need to hear from other white people. Okay, uh, issues about racism in this country, which is still a major issue in this country. Here in a couple of months, we're going to find out. We're really going to find out how much of a major issue it is in this country, depending on how this election turns out. So the message is much more powerful coming from other white people, because what happens is when black people speak out against it, when we speak out, just like the other day I did a video talking about the shooter, and I pointed out the double standard of when a white person commits a crime, they always try to make excuses for them, and they got mental health issues. They was a good person, this and that and the other. But then when a black person does something, there's no excuses made, and they're criminalized. And even with the situation with George Floyd, he had committed some crimes prior. He did have a little bit of a record. So because he had a record, a lot of people felt like he deserved that he got what he deserved because he had a record. You know what I mean? So it's no excuses is made for black people. If I go out and commit a crime today or tomorrow, now I've never I've never been arrested ever in my life, knock on wood. But if I went out, for example, if I went out and committed a crime tomorrow, and let's say it makes, hypothetically speaking, it makes the nationwide news. Do you honestly think, I'm a black woman, do you honestly think they're going to say, write a whole article and say, yeah, she was a good person. She was a good person. She was Christian. She was a Christian woman. She was a good person. She, you know, um, she probably was having some mental health issues, and that's why she did it. And do you honestly think that they're going to make excuses for me? I think not. Even though I've never been arrested before ever in my life, if I committed a crime, let's say it's robbing a bank. I'm not going to say unaliving. Let's say it's robbing a bank. Let's say I robbed a bank. I decided to go take a bank. Do you honestly think that they're going to make a whole article? They're going to make an article and say, I think she was having some mental health issues. And she was really a good person before. She's got a lot of goodness in her. She's never been in trouble before. If anything, they're going to dig through my past with a fine-tooth comb to find out, oh, yeah, I see she had a ticket right here. She had a speeding ticket right here. Mm-hmm. Got a speeding, got in trouble for that. You know, you know what I'm saying? If anything, they're going to go through my record, my past record, with a fine-tooth comb to try to find some type of justification. Okay, they're not going to make any excuses for me. Okay, when Breonna Taylor got unalived, okay, she got accused of doing things that she did not do because she was a black woman. Okay, nobody seen her humanity in that situation. So this is what I was saying. There is a double standard. People say, well, Mike, why was you making it about race? I wasn't making it about race. I was literally merely pointing out the double standard. And see, the problem is when black people talk about racism, I don't mean to get off topic. But when black people talk about racism, the first thing you get accused of is they deflect. They deflect and they say, you're the racist. We get called racist for talking about racism. Oh, why are you making this about race? But every time something happens with a black person, they always make it about race. Always. If a black person stealing something, there's stereotypes for a reason. I read the blogs all the time. They make statements like this. They make comments like this. Never, even if a black person, there is a lot of mental health issues in the black community. If a black person does commit a crime, even an unaliving, do you honestly think they never, ever, ever come on in an article or whatever and say they were having mental health issues? Okay? We don't get to use the mental health card. We don't get to go out and commit a crime and use a mental health card. We don't get to do that. That's why I was saying in another video, even if we're having, as black people, even if we're having mental health issues, we got to think in our, we got to be stable in our instability, if that makes sense. We have to think, we still have to halfway have it together, even if we don't have it together. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. You feel me? So where I'm going with this is I'm basically saying that, and it's the same thing with the men. It's the same thing with the men. If they're not speaking up against misogyny, and bashing the bashing of black women and all this, the mistreatment of black women and things like that, it's almost like you become complacent. You almost like you become part of the problem. And if you're making excuses for the men, you are literally part of the problem. Okay? And it's more, the message is more powerful, and that was the point that I was making. I'm not trying to get off topic. The message is more powerful coming from another man. See, the message is more powerful coming from them, because every time we try to talk about these issues, every time us women, when I come on here and I try to talk about some of the same things that controversial Shannon talks about, some of the same issues that the public offender talks about, when I've made a lot of those same talking points that they have. I've made literally a lot of the same talking points. There's a lot of black female content creators that makes some of those same talking points. But what do we get accused of? We get accused of being better. We get accused of hating black men. Now I'm having people come on my channel. I did the video of the black man that was unalived in Colombia. Now I'm getting accused of, by some women, I guess, of loving black men. I guess loving them, or I guess they hate black men, so they don't want me to. They want me to hate black men too. So it's weird. It's really weird. So if the message is more powerful coming from the black men. This is why more black men need to hold each other accountable, because the message is more powerful coming from y'all. When we, us black women, try to talk about those same issues, we get accused of being bitter. We get accused, I've been accused many times of hating black men, and I don't hate black men. I love black men. I want to see them do better, okay? I want them to see them do better. I want them to be better. And I'm going to talk about it, and there's a lot of major issues in the black community, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to keep it 100. If it applies to you, if it don't apply, let it fly. But some black men get upset and they say, I hate black men. No, I don't. No, I don't. I made some of those same talking points that they have made, and I get accused of being bitter. I'm bitter. I hate black men. No, I don't hate black men. Oh, can I say that word? I hope I don't. I hope I can. I don't hate. I don't have. I do not hate black men. I don't hate anybody. I got 2 black sons. Are you kidding? So that's why it's very difficult for us black women to make those points, to have those conversations, because this is what we get accused of. And then they go into this deflection. They start deflecting. Then they go into what about women and all this kind of stuff. And they get some of those same questions. But the message is so much more powerful coming from these 2 men. More black men need to come on YouTube and start holding other men accountable. You got women accountability channels. You got black women on here holding other black women accountable. Crimson Cure, Pink Book Lessons, to name a couple of them. Of course, they're red pill. They red pill. That's all they talk about is black women. They don't hold black men accountable for anything. But that's what I'm saying. We need more of that. We need more men stepping up and holding the men accountable in our community. That's what we need, because when it's coming from us, that, oh, you're bitter, you hate black men, you know what I'm saying? So the message is so much more powerful, and that's why I use the analogy of the white people, because when other white people talk about racism, the message is so much more powerful coming from other white people. It's much more powerful, and they're more prone to listen than when we talk about racism. Oh, you're a racist. I do videos talking about that video where I did some white men are racist. black women that date and marry some white men. I said some. That some of them are racist. I got a lot of hits on that video, but I got a lot of white men coming in my comment section. Yeah, they came for me. They came for me. You know, they came for me because a lot of times white folks don't want to hear the truth. You know, they don't want to hear the truth, and so they don't care if you talk about black people till the cows come home. As soon as you say something about them with racism and stuff, they ain't trying to hear that. They ain't trying to hear it unless they're extremely woke, unless they're a white person that's extremely woke. And a lot of them aren't. Those white people are rare. They ain't trying to hear it. They ain't trying to hear it. And we're really trying to educate you guys. Yeah, we're really trying to educate. They ain't trying to hear it. So the message is much more powerful coming from someone of their own race. Because when we try to talk about it, they don't want to hear it coming from us. It's the same analogy with the men, with the black men. The messages are much more powerful coming from other black men. Because us black women, when we try to talk about these issues, they ain't trying to hear it. They deflect. We get all these accusations thrown at us. Bitter. We hate black men. You know, I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat anything. And that goes with everybody across the board. I don't sugarcoat nothing when it comes to black women. I've done videos about black women, and I've had here and there. Black women, well, what about the men? What about the men? You don't talk. You see that? See, this is what happens when you're a truth teller. I try to keep it 100 across the board. Across the board, I tell the truth. Folks don't want to hear it. I've done videos addressing the women. Of course, the men love those videos. They love those. But the women, some of the women come in. Well, what about the men? I don't. Go look at some of my other content. I have done videos addressing the men. Now I'm talking about the video I did on the woman when black women have too many children by different fathers or something like that. And then I talked about the single mother in Detroit that passed away after having was it 11th or 12th kids, something like that. Some people got mad at me in that comment section. I guess some people got mad at me in that comment section, and then I did a one talking about, yeah. So you know, every now and then when I do videos addressing the women, yeah, you know, some women are triggered, and then I'm having women come in here and saying that when I talked about the man from Colombia that got unalived. Oh no, from Colombia. He went to Colombia and got unalived. Check that video out. I got some people in my comment section saying, well, he was tricking with somebody over there. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? So that means that he deserved to be unalived? What's your point? So, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna just get on here and just talk about black men. I'm not gonna just get on here and just talk about black women. I'm not gonna get on here and just talk about white people. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. You know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna speak the truth. I've said that time and time again on this channel. And if you guys don't want to hear the truth, this is not the channel for you to watch, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to speak the truth. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a dog. If a dog do something wrong, I'm going to speak out about it. That dog done did something wrong. And I know it's a lot of animal lovers out there. Pit bulls. Some people get offended when you talk about the doggone pit bulls. Well, a lot of them do. I just heard a story that, including my son, he gets upset about. I just heard another story about a pit bull unaliving somebody. Well, other breeds of dog do attack, but it's the pit bulls are, they have a little bit more of an aggressive nature. I used to work at the Humane Society when it was like my during my work study when I was going to school. I worked at the Humane Society for a little short period of time, and they had a book there of all the different dogs, breeds of dogs, and they talked about their temperament and whether they were good around children, and so like all dogs have different temperaments. People don't realize that all dogs have different temperaments. Pit bulls, they're more aggressive. Their temperament is different than some of these other dogs out here. Okay, all dogs do not have the same temperament, and there's some dogs are good around children, some of them not. You know what I mean? So, but when you talk about pit bulls, people have fear. See that? They literally think you. My son accused me of being racist because he likes pits. Because we fostered a pit. We fostered a pit. Mom, you being racist towards pits. My son accused me of being racist towards pits. I said, how can you be racist towards a dog? He said, you talking crazy, man. Yeah. He accused me of being racist towards pets. But you're consistently hearing stories about pits unaliving people, attacking people, and a male lady, this poor male lady got unalived by a pit bull. These stories are real. This is happening to people. And it's mostly pit. I know that other breeds of dogs attack, but it's mostly pit bulls. Now you're going to have some animal lovers coming. It's not, oh, they get mad. They get mad. It's not just pit bulls, and this how according to how you raise them. You know what I mean? But I'm going to keep it real. That's a dog, and I'm going to keep it real about a dog. Okay? I'm going to keep it 100 about the dog. I don't care if animal lovers get upset or not. It is most of the time when people are being unalived, attacked and unalived, it's usually, in most cases, statistically, it is a pit bull. It is what it is. Folks want to get mad when you speak out and you leery of a pit bull. We have every reason to be leery of them. Some of them can turn on you. It is what it is. I love all animals, including pit bulls. But the reality is that it's not my favorite breed of dog because they can get aggressive. You can't trust them. It's hard to trust them. But you got some animal lovers, pit bull lovers. They'll be like, oh, you're being discriminatory. You're being racist and discriminatory towards pit bulls. No, statistically, they are more prone to. You're hearing about all these cases of them attacking and unaliving people. Yes, other breeds of dogs do it, but it's mostly pit bulls. So I don't care if it's about a dog. I'm going to come on here and keep it real about a dog. I'm going to come on here and keep it real about pit bulls. Okay? It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. I keep it real across the board about everybody, including the dog. I don't leave nothing off the table. It is what it is. So don't get mad. If you don't want to hear the truth, this is not the channel for you. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not a one-trick pony. I'm not a one-topic lady. And some of you that watch me on a regular basis, y'all know that. So I didn't mean this video to go this long. But yeah, check out those channels. Men accountability channels. I know I got way off a topic on here. Controversial Shannon and Public Offender. Check them out. I love it. They're doing God's work. They're doing God's work over there. They really are. They're holding men accountable and they're holding them to the fire. And they don't like it. Well, they get ugly. Some of them get ugly. I love it. They need to hear the truth. They need these guys need to hear the truth. And he points out their misogyny as well. He points out the misogyny. Hmm. So get over there and check those two channels out. I love it. I love every minute of it. All right, hit that like, subscribe, and thank you if you made it to the end of this video. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, you guys be blessed and stay safe out there.